Everybody, this is Virginia Milner coming to you for the DeKalb County Library, and I have some beautiful, beautiful shell beads. I've got some that are, do I have abalone here, I think, and I've got some mother of pearl, and it's summer, so I'm kind of going a little shell crazy. I've also got some little glass pearls, some that I want to share as well. I've been using those in classes and they're so pretty and they're just so feminine looking and I just love them. So we're going to make a nice little bracelet today. It's fairly straightforward. We're going to be using a shell for a centerpiece. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful. And we're going to do a little wire wrapping on it, just a little, because I really don't want to cover it up. It's so gorgeous. But we're going to use that to attach to some mother of pearl links. And I have all different colors for those of you who get kits. The centerpieces are going to be one of these. Oh, aren't they pretty? Mm. And then all different colors of beads to use for links for the rest of it. You're going to use your usual pliers, your round nose pliers. The barrels are round all the way around. They start larger at the bottom and work their taper up to almost a tip at the end. We're going to use some square nose pliers, which are slightly rounded on the outside and flat on the inside, giving you the option to make kind of a square shape or to use it to hold on to a round wire. Now, when you're buying these in the store or ordering them online, you want to make sure that there are no grips inside here because that, even though it's people use it to grip their wire, to hold their wire more secure, it also can dent soft wire, which is what we usually use. You're also going to need a pair of cutters, wire cutters that do cut your wire. Then you're going to, I'm using 24 gauge wire, an assortment of beads, and lobster clasp and jump rings to finish it off. Now, you don't have to use the same beads that I'm using. Again, this is a very straightforward design, so you can use any beads to make this particular bracelet. I think that's it. That's all we need. Oh, you need a ruler to measure out your wire. So let's go ahead and get down here to the mat and get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is wrap my centerpiece bead. It's got a lot of blue in it. It's so beautiful. So I decided to use these little pearlesque blue beads to go with it. And what I'm going to do is just put a little wrap on it. It's so gorgeous. I don't want to cover it up too much. I'm just using, it's about 1.25 inches long and 1 inch across. So I'm using 12 inches of wire. It's depending on what you are using. I would give myself at least 12 inches, and then that way, whatever you don't need, you can just cut off. But you want to make sure you have enough to use your creativity to do what you want with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my wire through the bead. I'm going to go down to about the center. Oh, and look at this. This side is one color, and this side is a completely different color. So hopefully, when you're wearing it, you can wear it on this side that has the wrap if you want to, or you can always flip it over and wear the bare side, and it's going to be gorgeous either way. That's one of the things I always worry about when I'm wrapping something on one side. What if it flips? This way, you don't have to worry about that because it's beautiful. So I'm going to go down about halfway down my wire, and I'm going to make a loop on the top. So I'm going to bend the wire to one side on the top, the other side on the bottom. I'm going to be making loops on both sides because I need to attach it to both sides of my links for my bracelet. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself, it doesn't have to be a large loop. So I'm just going to go down about a third of the way down my pliers, maybe a little less than a third. I'm going to slide my wire in between my pliers like so. make a loop around the pliers until I can't go any further because the bead is in the way. Then I'm going to hold on to the wire and the bead, open my pliers up and reposition the empty barrel out of my way and bring the wire under and across so that I have a loop. Then I'm going to switch to my square pliers. I'm going to wrap that loop one time around, and this is going to roll because it's not stabilized yet, so don't worry about that. I'm going to wrap that one time around. Yeah, 1.5 times around because I think I'm going to pull it over to this side. Yeah. And I'm going to go down here to the bottom, make another loop on the bottom, just like that one I made on the top. Slide my wire down about 1/3 of the way, down my pliers. It's a little further than that. There we go. And make my loop, wrap my tail around until it can't go any further because the bead is blocking it. Hold on to the bead and the wire, open my pliers up and reposition the empty barrel out of the way and bring my wire over until I have a loop. Switch to my square pliers, wrap around my wire around the bottom of my loop. And this time I'm going to go to the other side. So I have one going one way and one going the other way. And I want my loops to both be facing the same direction. So this is what I have so far. So I'm going to bring that, well, top or bottom wire, whichever way you look at it. Yeah, you were supposed to be over there. Yeah, I was looking at the back side. Oh, that's okay. So let's bring that down the side. And it doesn't have to be right on the side. I'm just using it as a little bit of a frame. This is my wrap. You can, I'm just using this to secure my wire. I'm going to do that, bring that around and under the other wire, like so. So I'm going to hold on to that, and then I'm going to form a little circle around this wire. Once I have a little circle down there, and it is a little open, I want it that way, then I'm going to follow that around with the other wire. So I'm going to hold on to the one I just made the circle with. This can be right here, that's fine. And I'm going to follow that wire around with the other wire until they meet, like that. Then I'm going to use both wires to make a little spiral. There's still a little spiral down here. That's it, just a little spiral. Then I'm going to bring it around, and because I really do not want to cover too much of this bead, I'm just going to do a very simple little wrap here. So I'm going to bring it over to the side where the top wire is going down the side, and then I'm going to curve it around like so, just to give it a little curvature, and then I'm going to bring it up and wrap it around the top, just like that. So that's what I have. Oh, that is pretty. Okay, so I just wanted to wrap it around the top one time, just to secure it. Take my pliers, I'm going to push that down a little tighter, and I'm going to cut that off in the back. I'm calling this side the back. Look how pretty that is. Oh, they're both so gorgeous. I love this. So I'm going to snip that off so that now I have a two-sided cut. a two-sided centerpiece that I can wear either way. I'm going to push down that little tip. You don't want that because that's going to be resting against your skin. So you want to make sure that that's tucked down and not sticking out in a way that it could poke you while you're wearing it. And I feel that. So let's be very, very diligent about that, or you will be sorry later. If I can feel it with my fingernail, it's not down far enough. Get it there. That's better, but not good enough. There. And just smoothing that down. And the goal for me is to try to get it in between the other wraps so that it's not popping up. So this is why I kind of smooth it around. There. Oh, nice. And there's my little wrap. You can adjust it a little if you want. Scoot that over a little more. Just a smidge. And there's my little wrap. That's going to be my centerpiece. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is make my links. That's so beautiful. So for that, I just need a couple of inches of wire. What I need is 3/4 of an inch of wire on either side of my beads. So that's an inch and a half, and then whatever amount of space on the wire the bead would take up. My bead is about 1/2 inch. That means I need about 2 inches of wire. Now, what you can do is just leave your wire intact and go ahead and bend about 3/4 of an inch from the end. So that's going to be my first loop. Slide my wire down about 1/3 of the way down my pliers again. So I don't need too big a loop. Wrap my wire over the top of my pliers and down the side. Hold on to my wire, open my pliers, reposition the empty barrel out of the way, and bring the wire under and across. Stop that. So I can have a nice little circle, a nice little loop. Then I'm going to switch to my square pliers. And I'm not going to wrap that yet because I need to attach that to something. Well, I'll wrap this one. Go ahead and wrap this one because I can leave the next one open and attach it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that around. I don't need too many wraps. I'm going to give it 1.5 wraps around. And cut that tail off. See how much I had left? But it's better to have some to work with. You don't want to leave yourself to the point that you don't have enough to hold on to with your fingers. Cut that excess off and push that little tip down. Now, when you're working with tiny wire like this, 24 gauge, sometimes it's hard to hold while you're trying to push your little tip down. My suggestion is don't try to squeeze it too hard. This is very soft wire, very malleable. Just take your time and give it small, short squeezes until you get it, the tip pressed down against the other wires, which is what you want. Now I'm going to slide on my bead. And now I'm going to cut my wire off. I'm going to go ahead and put the bend in my wire, just like I did on the other side. And then I'm going to cut it down to about 3/4 of an inch. And this is going to be a little longer on than the other side because I bent it first. Very small fraction of additional length, but That's what I got. Okay, slide my wire down about a third of the way down my pliers again. I want it the same size as the other side. Bring the wire over the top of the pliers and down the side until it bumps into the bead. Reposition my pliers, work that wire around until I have a loop. Turn that a little bit till I have my little loop, and I'm going to stop there because I need to attach. And I'm going to go ahead and do a second one. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my beads. Now, you don't have to have beads. You can do this. But I want beads on mine. I want a contrast. So I'm going to do that again. You get another chance to watch me do that. And this time I'm going to add beads on. So you have an option. You can add beads, little beads beside your shell, or you can leave it shell only. Your choice. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I just did. Bend my wire over to the side at about 3/4 of an inch. I'm just eyeballing it. Slide my wire in between my pliers about a third of the way down. Bring the short tail over the top and down the side until it's running parallel with the long wire. Open up my pliers, reposition them until the empty barrel is out of my way, and bring the short tail of wire over until I have a loop. Then I'm going to grab my square pliers and wrap that tail around the bottom of my loop 1.5 times. I'm going to cut that excess off as close as I can get to the wraps, holding onto that tail so it doesn't fly across the room. We want to control the cut. And then push down that little tip. A little bit more. Where is it? There it is. There we go. Now I'm going to grab a bead that I did not do before. Option number 2, add a bead. Okay, I'm going to slide that on my wire. Grab my shell. So this is going to also change the determination of how much wire you need. Now my little shell here, and all of these shells are not the same size. Be aware of that. You're going to need to measure each and every one of them. My shell was about 3/8 of an inch. I said 1/2 an inch just to give myself a little extra. And with these beads on it, it is going to be about 1/2 an inch. So that's perfect for me. I still just need 2 inches. Okay, I'm going to bend my wire over to the side. So just to recap, measure the beads that you're using, add 3/4 of an inch on each side, which would add up to 1.5 inches, and add the amount of space that your beads are going to take up, in my case, 1/2 an inch. So 2 inches of wire for my link. All right, let's slide my wire in between my pliers about a third of the way down my pliers. Bring the wire over the top and down the side until it's resting against the beads. Hold on to the beads and the wire. Open up my pliers, reposition the empty barrel out of the way, and bring my wire in between the beads and the pliers until I have a loop. Grab my square pliers, and actually I'm not going to do anything. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. I've gone ahead and wrapped it. That's the other way I was telling you to just leave your wire intact if you don't mind the wire being there. If it bothers you when you get to the second side, just go ahead and cut it off at 3/4 of an inch after you've made the bend. So now I'm going to cut it. and leave it to the side because I want to attach this to another one. Now I'm going to grab another one. Okay, so I showed you how to do it with your wire intact. I'm going to show you how to do it with a piece of cut wire. I need about 2 inches because even with this and these, it's about a half inch of space, maybe a smidge more. So I'm going to give myself 2 inches approximately of wire, and I'm just eyeballing. Let me see what I've got here. Yeah, it's about 2 1/8 works. Cut that off. Bend my wire back at about 3/4 of an inch. Make a loop. And before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the one that I already did. And leaving the open side open, I'm just going to slide the closed loop inside the open loop. Just let it drop down inside the loop. Grab my square pliers, hold on to the loop, and wrap that tail around 1.5 times. See that? No excess, well, a little tiny bit of excess wire, but not much. Excellent. Snip that little end off. Hold on to it. There, out of my way. And push the little tip down. Still sticking up. I use my fingers because this wire is so tiny that that little tip may escape your notice. One thing that you can do is use your finger to feel it and see if you can feel the little end. You can use the camera on your phone to look and see if there's anything sticking up. But really, if you can feel it, that's the best way to know that you need to keep working with that little tip until it's not sticking up anymore. Because if you don't, every time it moves when you're wearing it on your wrist, you're going to know you made a boo-boo. I'll put it on there. Look, the little paint is coming off my bead. All right, so I've got my beads on. Look at how much wire I have left on this side. Okay, I'm going to bend my wire to the side. And make a loop. Oops, and a little further, about a third. There we go. Bring that over the top, down the side until it's resting against my beads and can't go any further. Bring that over. And I'm going to check because I have a little neck here. If I have too much space that I don't want to see, I just go back in with my pliers and roll my loop down until it's closer to my bead. And now I'm going to attach it. Yeah, I could attach it, but I'm going to go ahead and attach this side to the small one. I've got both of these open. I'm going to attach this to the one that I'd already made. There we go. Slide that on. Closed loop inside the open loop. And wrap that loop closed. There we go. Wrap that 1.5 times around again. I like to bend the wire in the direction that I want it to go when I'm pushing it down. If it's sticking straight out another direction, it's going to be hard to push that little tip down because it's going to resist. Cut that off. Where's that little tip? Where are you? Oh, it's this one. No, that's up, 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 up. I feel it. There it is. Your fingers will tell you what you need to know. There it is. All right, grab my square pliers, push that down. So it rests in between the other wraps. That's the best thing that you can do. Okay, there it is. And just take your time with this. It's a slightly tedious process, but you will be glad that you did it in the end. Finishing on these things is 100%. If it looks beautiful, that's great. But if it's not finished properly, then that's going to show in other ways. There we go. So now there is my chain, and there is my centerpiece. Now I'm going to attach. Slide that on. The open loop, the closed loop inside the open loop, like so, and wrap. Now, what you can also do is attach this with a jump ring if you need more length. Let me measure this and see what I've got so far. So you want to make sure you have enough measurement for it to go around your wrist. This is about 3.5 inches from the center. And if I add this, that doesn't have an opening, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and put jump rings on mine, which is fine. That's what they're for. And it gives it a little more swing. This is good. Yes, I'm going to need a couple of jump rings because I need 7.5 inches. So I'm going to take that off of there and close up my loop. So I go ahead and wrap that 1.5 times. Cut that little tip off as close as I can get to my wrap. And push down this little tip, nice and tight. I can feel you. And if this is wiggling, which it's going to do, hold on to the loop at the bottom so it doesn't turn while you're trying to stabilize that tip. Here we go. So now there's my bracelet. I just need to put it together. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That is really gorgeous. Okay, so let's just attach this with a couple of jump rings. And the proper way to open your jump ring is to twist it. You can use a plier and twist it open. You can use your fingers on one side, pliers on the other side, and twist like that. Or you can use the pliers on one side, the square pliers on one side, and then I use the round pliers pointing up and down, the square pliers pointing side to side. Here's my opening. Hold on to that and twist with my square pliers. So I use my round ones to hold and my square ones to twist, and I'm going to slide that on. Slide my centerpiece on the closed loop inside the open jump ring, and then slide one of the last links of the link part, one of the last loops of the link part of my bracelet, and twist it closed like so. Now, if you're like me, I'm going to make sure that's completely closed. You want these little tips meeting. There we go. Now, if you're like me, I like to jump rings. I like the look of it, and I have a little spiral down there. I figure it makes it look more like a design than just a functional piece. It looks more of an embellishment, or it looks like it does both instead of just one or the other. Okay, twist that closed. Yes, I like that much better. And it gives it more strength. So there's that attachment. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Grab my jump ring. And now sometimes my jump rings, when I get them out of the package, they're not meeting properly. For instance, this one is overlapping. It's slightly, both of my ends are slightly overlapping each other. I want to correct that. So what I'm going to do is open it up, just twist it open, and pull it apart just a little bit so that I can make these little tips meet instead of overlap. So that's what I have. And I'm going to twist it open and put it to the side and grab a second one to attach the other side of my bracelet. This one's pretty good. I like to open it and close it and hear the click. If I hear a click, then that means my little tips are matching or meeting and not overlapping. But if one stops against the other one, you need to correct it. So I'm going to slide the link chain into my open jump ring, and then I'm going to slide my centerpiece loop into my open jump ring and twist it closed. Then you can twist it closed with your fingers, or you can twist it closed with the pliers, just like you twisted it open. There. Nice. Yes. Let's grab a second jump ring and do the same thing. Slide it through the last loop of the link chain, and then back. Really? Okay, slide it through the last loop of the link chain, and then back up and through the loop of my centerpiece. Make sure that the other jump ring isn't caught in this jump ring. They need to be separate, and then twist it closed. So those little tips are meeting. There. And there we go. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Now all we need to do is put on a lobster clasp and a jump ring on the end. I probably won't need a jump ring on the end because my lobster clasp should fit right in there. So I'm going to try it on, see what I need. I do not need another jump ring. This is going to be perfect. And if you want to wear it on the side where it's wrapped, you can. If you want to wear it on the side where it's not wrapped, you can. Either way, on this one is absolutely gorgeous. And these, same, gorgeous. I've had these for a while now, and I've just, and I just threw my bracelet on the floor. I've just had these for a while, and this one too. share them with you all. Come on, focus, focus, focus. There. Ooh, doesn't that just look like a sand dune or something? Come back here, bracelet. Okay. All right, so I'm going to grab another jump ring, open it up. Where's the opening? There it is. Twist that open, slide it on one of my rings on the end of my chain, grab my lobster clasp, slide that little ring inside my jump ring, and close it. There we go. Now this is mainly functional. If I could get another jump ring through that tiny little loop on my lobster clasp, I probably would go ahead and put another jump ring in, but this little loop is too small. So now I have a bracelet. Well, before I do that, I will show you down here. There's my bracelet. That is absolutely gorgeous. I've been working with shells and pearls for these little iridescent pearls for a while, and I'm just loving it. I am not a beach person, so I don't know how I'm getting all tied up in all of this stuff that reminds me of the beach, but isn't that beautiful? It looks very Mediterranean. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on and show you what it looks like. There it is. Oh, I love it. Isn't that beautiful? That's just gorgeous. Say I want to flip it over to that side. Just beautiful. I love it. This is so pretty. Okay, well, there it is, folks. That is our piece for the day, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. There it is. Isn't that gorgeous? I really, really love this. I hope that you will make one of these, and I hope that you'll love it too. Oh, so pretty. Anyway, that's our program for the day. I'm hoping that this one is kind of short, sweet. Again, it's a very straightforward design, so we didn't get into a whole lot other than the decoration for your centerpiece. So I hope that you'll make one of these. I hope that you'll let me know what you thought of this particular tutorial. I love to hear from you. You can send me emails to the Jewelry Gen email that's down in the description. You can leave comments and pictures on the DeKalb County Library Facebook page, and you can leave comments on the YouTube page where you are right now looking at this tutorial. So until next time, please, everybody, please stay hydrated. Please wash your fruits and vegetables very well. My poor little 4-year-old neighbor is suffering from I can't remember what it's called, from I guess from the fruits or the produce that's got something on it that's making people sick. Poor baby. Anyway, take care of yourself, hydrate, try to stay cool, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye. Oh, I forgot to say my usually close. Enjoy your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.